When they flip the switch for the great global economic reset, how long is it going to take? Well, it's not going to be a progressive thing. It's going to happen in one day. And I know that's kind of hard for many people to believe, but that's absolutely how it has to happen. You see, this can't be a progressive thing over months of time. People are going to catch on. What needs to happen is they need to just shut down everything. And then when it comes back on, the system will be entirely new. Everybody's accounts will be wiped. There will be no access to them. And they will create a new economic system using a digital currency that you can only access through quantum entanglement. This is all fact, guys. This isn't a theory. I'm telling you, this is the reality of what's going on. And this is what these people who are in the Kabbalah, ancient Jewish mysticism have always believed with quantum entanglement. This is their plan. And it's already set in motion. It's been set in motion. God is allowing it. Absolutely. God is in complete control and he can do whatever he pleases. So I'm not saying God can't thwart their plans. However, personally, I believe it has been written that God will allow for this season Satan to have control like he never had control over this earth before. It's going to be to a different extent and level because of the hardness of men's hearts. You see, God gives people over to the lusts of their flesh, to a reprobate mind, if they continually harden their hearts and fight against God. You see, so the world we are living in right now, all the depravity, all the wickedness, all the perversions, all this is God allowing humanity to go to that extent. It's because men love wickedness and hate righteousness.
The Federal Reserve knows the dollar is finished. I mean, honest to God, if I could speak about maybe something I've heard at some point, maybe from somebody reputable, maybe not, you never know. I'm just going to throw something out there that I heard, that the BRIC nations want off the dollar, and they're going to do it August 1st of this year. So they have their own version of the SWIFT system, an international payment system that will run everything but the dollar. And joining that list is Saudi Arabia. This is big. China's on that list. Russia's on that list. Brazil is on that list. Thailand's on that list. There's a lot of countries that are tired of the dollar and they want off.
Much of the world has been preparing for the end of the US dollar as a world reserve currency. After all the smaller banks die, the people will be left with the central bank, and their solution is the CBDC. CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. With CBDC, there are no more options. Everyone's account is run directly through the central bank system.
As the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom. And we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on. If you don't behave, you can have your money turned off.
There are 12 Federal Reserve banks, which are located in cities being considered for the 15-minute city model of the World Economic Forum. This is where it's all headed, and there isn't much pushback in the federal government. Utah Senator Mike Lee introduced the No CBDC Act last September, which will likely go nowhere. But we, the people, have much more sway over our local governments. An Oklahoma House committee unanimously passed a bill to protect Oklahomans from being forced to adopt a CBDC. It's time for we the people to unite with our neighbors and local communities and prepare to liberate ourselves from the central bank system. Recall our corrupt county officials and start looking into local barter and trade systems because central bank digital currency is coming at us quickly. And it equals financial enslavement.
Is we are again in the very early stages of a deliberate systemic failure of the financial system. This is being pushed by central banks who want to kill the current system issue in a new one. They have to kill the current system first, and they have to create panic. They have to create a reason why we need this new system. You understand? We need it because the old one's dying. They know that, and it's being pushed in that direction. Obviously, again, cratering economy. They're raising rates into a cratering economy, and that mechanism here is fostering everything that we're seeing here, an elimination of the middle class on a worldwide scale.